Japanese kamikaze pilots before their final flights, 1945. The border between Vietnam and Cambodia, fortified with poisoned bamboo stakes, 1972. German field dentist, World War I. Midwives show newborn triplets to their father, who fainted from emotion, New York, 1946. Beauties from the 1940s tried to save their skin from burns before sunscreen was invented. An American soldier poses in front of burning oil, Gulf War, 1991. A former concentration camp prisoner selects glasses from a pile taken from inmates, 1945, Poland, Nazi concentration camp Auschwitz. Alcoholism treatment using the latest method with huge doses of castor oil, Russia, 1916. Hitler Rally, 1937. No gathering in human history had assembled as many people. The body of the last thylacine, Tasmanian tiger, on Earth and the farmer who killed it, 1930. Improvised cavalry parade in memory of horses killed in WWI, USA, 1917. A Syrian girl in a refugee camp in Turkey. Mistaking the camera for a weapon, she raised her hands, 2012. Adolf Hitler in occupied Paris, 1940. A World War II veteran earns a living, Tokyo, Japan, 1951. The final moments of a kamikaze dive on the aircraft carrier Lexington, 1944. This is a screw gag, which doctors used to place in a patient's mouth during surgery to prevent them from screaming. Sometimes, the patient was also hit on the head with a rubber mallet, and the surgery was performed quickly before they regained consciousness. A coffin in a tree in the taiga, USSR, 1927. Air burial is one of the oldest religious funeral rites. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote only when drunk, creating up to 8,000 words after leaving a bar. Sober, he lost productivity. Horse-shaped device used to hold children still during X-rays, mid-20th century. A cat runs across the street. During a street battle in Beirut, Lebanon, 1980s. A German woman facing public humiliation because of a romantic affair with a Polish man, 1942. Final photo of a pet owner with their dog before euthanasia due to an incurable diagnosis. White teenagers protesting racial integration in Montgomery, Alabama, 1963. Chelyabinsk City, Russian Empire, 1913. Quarantine warehouses for people infected with the Spanish flu, 1918. A man asking for help from a passing car during the brutal genocide in Rwanda, 1994. British artillerymen, Kent, UK, 1940. An air raid caught an amateur theater troupe during rehearsal, with no time to change into uniforms. This man survived a fire on a sinking ship in 1871, leaving him with emotional trauma. 41 years later, he finally overcame his fears and nightmares and decided to go on a cruise on the Titanic. Children, prisoners of Auschwitz. Concentration camp, show their camp numbers, tattooed on their arms, Poland, 1945. In 1815, about 50,000 soldiers died at the Battle of Waterloo. Before burying the soldiers, their teeth were pulled to make dentures. Waterloo teeth were in high demand. Winston Churchill in Boer War captivity, standing on the right, South African Republic, 1899. Hitler with the Jewish girl Bernelli Nienau, whom he befriended in 1933. Later, when Hitler learned of her Jewish heritage, their relationship ended. Glimpse into Afghanistan's infrastructure and culture, mid-20th century. Jacques Plante became the first goaltender in hockey history to play wearing a mask, 1959. Captain Takatsugu Jojima, commander of the Japanese aircraft carrier Shokaku, watches planes take off for the attack on Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7, 1941. The knockupper, human alarm clock. This profession existed in England and Ireland during the Industrial Revolution until the 1920s. 39-year-old cowboy from Texas, Clarence Haley, whose image was used in Marlboro cigarette advertisements, 1949. A Bosnian soldier near a destroyed house where 69 people, including his family, perished. Yugoslavian War, 1995. Japanese children enjoying fresh snow, 1950s. The first day of war. Soviet civilians in Moscow listened to the radio announcement that Germany has invaded the Soviet Union, 25 de June 1941. No dog biscuits today. London, 1942. A patient undergoing treatment for mental illness in Germany, 19th century. This is exactly how toilets were designed in the Middle Ages. When Americans discovered that Native American women considered it improper to have hair on any part of the body except the head, they reacted by calling the practice barbarism and ugliness. The Last Feat, 1991, Vukovar. A Serbian fighter carried a wounded comrade out of battle. Then he returned for another and was killed. He saved a life, sacrificing his own. Geishas were initially men called taikomochi. Until the 17th century, they served as jesters to Japanese feudal lords, but this job gradually lost popularity. The first female geisha appeared only in the mid-18th century. One of the most influential drug barons in history, Pablo Escobar, at Disneyland, 1981. The rotor carousel reached 33 revolutions per minute, creating a centrifugal force of almost 3G. When people stuck to the wall of the drum due to the force, the floor was automatically removed for greater effect. USA, 1950s. Gay activists carry a mile-long rainbow banner through New York City to mark the 25th anniversary of the Stonewall Riots, 1994. Bulgaria, 1940. Exorcism of evil spirits causing back pain with the help of an axe, magical incantations, and burning herbs. A girl tries to cut a sunbeam, 1886. The smallest car in the world, the Peel P50. It weighs just 130 pounds, 59 kilograms. A police dog is not very happy with football players during a match in Cologne, Germany, 1959. The first same-sex marriage in history. Axel and Eigil Axgill became the first same-sex couple to receive legal recognition and rights. Denmark, 1989. A champagne inspector with a special mask to protect from accidental bottle explosions. California, USA, 1933. A Crawling Toy, USA, 1871. If you misbehave, it will crawl to you at night. Bulgarian peasants using an elephant for fieldwork, 1900. Model K Heffernan demonstrates the safety of the insecticide DDT, New York, 1948. It is now banned due to its danger to living organisms. Photo of total solar eclipse on July 11, 1991. Chiapas, Mexico. Saving Private Donkey. A French Legion soldier during the Algerian War carries a wounded donkey back to base. 1958. The donkey survived and became the base's mascot, named Bambi. Sophia Loren in an advertisement for marinated anchovies. USA, 1951. Fijian chief Udre Udre, the most gluttonous cannibal in the world. He ate nothing but human flesh and consumed no fewer than 900 people throughout his life. Louise Bundy, mother of serial killer Ted Bundy, talks to him on the phone minutes before his execution. "You will always be my precious son. A mother is always a mother." A device for focusing on reading and writing, invented by Hugo Gernsback, provided deep noise isolation, supplied pure oxygen, and limited vision to a narrow slit for text. USA, 1925. Training for the annual pancake race. A white dove lands on Fidel Castro's shoulder during his first televised address to the citizens of Cuba and stays there for the entire 2-hour speech. Havana, 1959. The widely known photograph that changed the perception of AIDS. A father comforts his son, David Kirby, on his deathbed in Ohio, 1990. The 266th Pope Francis. In his youth, he was a fan of rock music. Prisoners of the Sachsenhausen concentration camp liberated by Soviet and Polish troops. Germany, 1945. St. Nicholas Parade in Austria. St. Nicholas rides a white horse while Krampuses warn children to behave. One of the first home vacuum cleaners. Siemens Elmo, 1906. In the 1930s, a woman's pregnancy was determined by inserting her urine into frogs. If, after 15 hours, the frogs started laying eggs, it meant the woman was pregnant. A demonstration of an economy-class underground bomb shelter, which could hold 8 to 12 people. USA, 1958. Ham the chimpanzee returns to Earth after a spaceflight. USA, 1961. Citizens photographed the body of famous criminal, bank robber John Dillinger, displayed in the morgue for public viewing. USA, 1934. Shoichi Yokoi, the Japanese soldier who hid in the jungle in Guam for 27 years to avoid capture, weeps upon his return to Japan in February 1972. The crew of the Challenger space shuttle that perished in an explosion 73 seconds into flight. All crew members died. 1986. The Ku Klux Klan at a fair in Colorado. 1926. Wreckage of the submarine Kursk, Barents Sea, 2000. Human Cannonball Act at a carnival, Massachusetts, 1991. In the photo is Geronimo, on horseback, the leader of the Chiricahua Apache, the last tribe to resist the reservations. The Apache fought to the end. 1,887. In 1911, two traveling brothers, Lewis and Temple Abernathy, were offered $10,000 if they rode from New York to San Francisco, 2,796 miles in 60 days. According to the contract, Lewis and Temple had to sleep and eat exclusively outdoors. Unfortunately, the brothers didn't win the reward. They arrived in 62 days. Still, it's worth noting. The older one was 11, and the younger one was 7. The oddest censorship. Women were forbidden from exposing their legs in the early 20th century. This led to beach inspectors actually measuring the length of their swimsuits. Trainer Yuri Kuklichev losing a chess game to his cat, 1980s. Brigitte Bardot, the sex symbol of the 60s, but beauty does not last forever. Bern University rejected Albert Einstein for a professorship, stating, "Your theory seems interesting, but more like art than science." King George VI of Great Britain was a very serious man, 1938. Native Americans tear down the statue of Christopher Columbus, Mexico, 1994. Residents of Hiroshima walking outside 10 minutes after the nuclear explosion, 1945. The expression on your face when you win the jackpot, Australia, 1958. In 2016, U.S. student Otto Warmbier was sentenced to 15 years in North Korea for stealing a poster. Returned to the U.S. a year later in a coma with severe brain damage, he died days later. Shockingly, North Korea demanded a $2 million bill for his medical care. A teenager at the ruins of his home 4 days after Hurricane Camille passed through. Buras, USA, 1960s. Playing tennis on the wing of a flying airplane, USA, 1925. The legendary robber Billy the Kid, a symbol of the Wild West. The only known photograph was sold at auction for $2.3 million. A newspaper seller selling the latest edition, 1939. Owners of Turkish taverns hired porters to carry overly drunk regular customers home, 1960s, Istanbul. In 1948, a local tribal chief in North Dakota weeps as he is forced to sign a treaty handing over fertile land in the Missouri River Flats, his tribe's homeland, under the threat of his people's destruction. Los Angeles police stop an ostrich-drawn carriage for speeding, 1930. In the era of the Great Depression, homeless Americans were forced to live in Hoovervilles, shanty towns named to mock President Hoover. The middle class virtually disappeared, unemployment soared to 25%, and prices for farm goods dropped by nearly half. Vincenzo Peruggia stole the Mona Lisa from the Louvre in 1911, and in 1913 the painting was found in his hotel room in Florence. Whether this clip sparked joy, anger, or just a bit of annoyance, I want to hear your thoughts below. Stick around for part 2 coming soon. Please hit like and subscribe to support the channel. See you!